So now let's talk about exercise, which is a major component of physical energy. To help us today, I've got an expert, Jess Barrow, who's the owner of Motivate Me Fitness. Now the great thing about Jess is that Jess, one, is a real person. She's got 2 kids, she runs her own business, she's married, she's pretty much the chief of staff at home. And the other thing about Jess and her program that she runs here is she's working with real people. Jess isn't working with your CrossFits, she's not working with your triathletes. What she's working with is everyday mums and dads who face the same challenges and opportunities that you and I face. Jess, thanks for having me in.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks great here.
Thank you.
So, first question, let's start with the basics, all right? Energy, exercise, performance, they're all related.
Yeah, sure.
But how does exercise impact energy, and therefore how does energy impact performance?
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously by exercising will increase your energy. Your energy increases your productivity, is the way I see it, or performance, or your output. And it also makes you happy. So all those things tying in, so I've exercised, I've got my energy, I've increased my production, and that makes you really happy.
So that's a great point, because what I wanted to ask is, in our audience there'll be people who are already doing exercise and that's part of their regular routine. My mother-in-law is like that. She does it twice a day. She's at the gym, so she's a freak like that, but she loves it, makes her happy, and then she's quite good at her role. But what about the folks who are going, you know what, I know I need to do it, but I haven't made it happen yet. Yeah. Like, how much should they be doing? Like, what are the recommendations?
Yeah, well, the Australian guidelines say 150 minutes a week.
Yep.
Okay, which is technically a half an hour, 5 times a day. If you could do it every day, that is the ideal scenario. But for some people just starting out, it might be once a week or twice a week. So if you can fit that into your daily routine while you're at work, it could be walking at lunch, it could be walking to your car, it could be the train to work, just those little basic things.
Yep.
Trying to implement that into what your daily routine is. And for those that are already doing it, a bit of a maintenance thing would be, from walking, you might want to start with a bit of a jog, or from a jog you go to a run. You may even cycle to keep the maintenance or fitness up a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. So with the beginners, you're saying ideally we're doing it 5 times a week for half an hour.
Yep.
What are some ways to get into it that kind of, if you were doing nothing, what kind of recommendations, what kind of exercise would you suggest people start with?
Just a walk. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Start with a walk.
Yep. Yeah. And a pace, does it matter if they're giving her nails right away, or what, when starting out, what would you suggest, and then what would you, if they started to progress and lift a little bit, what would you
You just want to start with a moderate walk. So something flat is ideal. If you're working within the city, it is pretty flat. But as you start to progress, you do want to get some hills. So you want to, obviously, your heart rate to somewhat increase.
Yep.
That will help increase your fitness, rather than having a steady state the whole way. So the more hills you can kind of get in there, a little bit more undulating.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And what about those, we've probably got some who are already into the exercise as well.
Yeah.
Let's say if you're kind of at that second phase, so now you're walking, let's say 5 days a week.
Sure.
What are some other things that people could do then to kind of up the ante?
Yeah, so we talk a lot about incidental exercise. So I'd be, if you're catching a train to work, park furthest away, not the closest to the train station, and walk to the train. You could also talk about, say, stairs. So those that have stairs at their workplace, rather than having to take the lift, let's take the stairs. It could be 5 flights, 10 flights, 2 flights, it doesn't matter. But all those little bit of incidental exercise really, really help to attribute to where your fitness is at, and even getting in those little extra steps during the day. So,
what were some ways to get, you talked about incidental exercise, right? How did you incorporate that when you were working at Collingwood?
Yeah, well, the key thing was I was super lucky that I had a really supportive boss, and the organisation was great and really encouraged people throughout the organisation to be actively involved in any way. And we weren't far from the city, so we would, rather than catch cabs or drive our car, we'd actually just walk into the city. So yes, it took a little bit more time, again, away from the office, but again, it was, it's important, one, for the environment, but also for ourselves. And we could actually talk about what we were going to do in the meeting as well.
Yep.
So we almost had a bit of a talk beforehand that was a debrief on the way back.
Yeah.
So it was actually a very, very productive way to go into a meeting.
Yeah, the old walking meeting.
Yeah, it was.
It was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So it was really good, yeah.
What about, I suspect when people start working out with you,
Yep.
in some of your programs,
Yes.
or even in social environments, when people understand what you do, you
Yeah.
would hear a lot of excuses about why they can't exercise.
Yeah, I do.
Whether it's ongoing or
Yeah.
whether it's, oh, I can't do it right now because of this or because of that.
Yeah.
What are some of the good excuses or some of the funny excuses that you've heard?
Look, I guess time's probably the key one.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't have time. Like, of course you don't. Look, none of us have time. Like, it's very hard, but you've got to make it a commitment and you've got to make it something that you really want to do. Yeah, excuses of, you've had sore toe, sore shoulder, or sitting by the fire eating marshmallows, having a wine.
How can I get up from that?
They're the night excuses.
Yep.
And then I've had the early morning excuses as well, which is my alarm went off, but I hit snooze and forgot to wake up
Yeah.
again. So.
Yeah.
But look, yeah, like as a trainer, you've got to stay motivated, but you've got to keep motivating others as well. So yeah, really important.
Yeah, and I think in the workplace, that's where if people within the workplace understand what some of your exercise goals are as
Yeah.
well as an individual, then they can be that trainer
Yeah.
in the office, or at least that support group to
Yeah.
encourage people to keep going.
Yeah.
What are some other ways to help people? So again, people are going, right, I don't do enough exercise.
Yeah.
I want to get to doing that half an hour a day, 5 times a week. What are some ways that help people keep their habits that you've seen
Yeah,
work?
sure. Yeah. So key to this is to trying to keep yourself accountable is to actually try and partner yourself up with someone. So if you've got a work buddy that definitely likes to walk every day or does already, partner up with them. And then that group may slowly start to form. It might get bigger.
Yep.
You might actually start a little walking group. Is to try and keep yourself accountable.
Jess, thanks for all your tips today. It's been fantastic having you on board. Hopefully everybody can take away a couple things that they can use to increase their physical energy. And I'll make sure I share all your information details with everybody in the program too if they want to touch base.
Yeah, sure. Happy to help out. So if anyone would like some further information, grab the details.
All right, thanks
you.
Jess.
No, we should be high-fiving, mate. Jesus, yeah.